Welcome, everybody. Mother's Day at home dinner with yours truly and your mom. And you are no longer in the juice because I got you every step of the way. We're going to start off with some Negronis, little king cube action, and we're going to do some canapes. Are you ready? So when you got your kit at home, you would have seen inside container C, container A, and container B. These two are the little bites, canapes. I want you to go ahead and open up this really simple drink. What's great about this little cocktail is that is pure alcohol, peeps, right there. So let's just pop that there. And here we have some orange peel. Remember, if you've never done this before, the box that you got, you should keep somewhere close by in the kitchen so you can take your containers and pop them in there. And then tomorrow morning for Pettins, you can go in and do your recycling in the garage. But back at it, I thought I would bring this out. Some of you probably have this at home. Some of you probably never seen it before. This is just a soft gel plastic container that allows you to do king cubes. Get one. They are awesome. I have about 5, and here at Next, I probably have about 20 of them downstairs in the freezer because people just love it. It kind of elevates a drink, but it also kind of takes things to a different level in terms of how you present it. So a cube down into each container. And once you have that, all you're going to do is you're going to open up these 2 little containers with your Negroni. The Negroni recipe is super easy. This is gin, Campari, and vermouth. And you know, when you combine it with the orange peel, wow. This is a nice drink to kind of lean back, look at mom. Dad's obviously in the room, but you know, he's not getting the respect or the love that mom's gonna get today. And you got a little skewer stick, which we are going to include in your kit. And you're going to take this, and it's probably a good idea just to make sure you do your even split on your oranges. And I did. I got 2 in each one. We are solid. Now, the purpose of the stick is that, hand that to mom. Look at her. Always start off with, I love you so much. You only get one mom, right? So make sure you make it real and make it close. And just look at her in her eyes and spin this back and go, Mom, and begin to tell her all the incredible things she did for you and how much you appreciate her. And probably every third compliment, just look at her and go, Mom, you're the best. It's such a great flavor. Now that mom's sedated with the Negroni, let's move into the canapes, because if she just drinks that whole thing inside of like 2 minutes, we got an issue. So let's slow her down, pull out A and B, and let's do a little canape action. These are really straightforward. A lot of you are very much familiar with bruschetta. So, and you know, don't say bullshetta, it's bruschetta. And, you know, somebody's going to come in and probably correct me. However, that's okay. You do it your way, I'll do it my way. Let me get the crostinis down. So you get a bunch of crostinis, and you clearly have a lot more going on here than just 2 pieces per person. And why? Because I love you. You've been good to me. You know, the last 5 years doing these videos has been just not only inspirational for me, but the feedback over the years, outstanding. Like, it just, you know, you got to understand something. I've been in this industry for like 30 plus years. And I know it's been very hard on a lot of people with everything that's been going on, from COVID to even crazier stuff that we're dealing with these days. But when you can offer a glimmer of hope and a glimmer of happiness when all the world is going to poop, or it feels like it, you know that your objective is achieved, and you know what your wheelhouse is. And my wheelhouse is very simple. Provide you with an experience that will make you come back and say, you know what, I need to pick me up. I'm going to see what Blackie's got going on this month. So look, there we go. Bruschetta on a little crostini, right? Look, we even have a little bit left over for chef. So tasty. Now, The next element we have here is bacalao. I'm saying the Spanish version because my Italian is not good. My first language is English. My second language I learned was Spanish. Is it close to Italian? Hell no. But this is salted cod, and we've made it into a little farce. And you can see like the little fur pieces sticking out on the edge here, and that's the actual physical salted cod. So all you're going to do is pop this down. Bitters, salt, fruity, sweet, salty. It's not going to get any better than that. And if you're feeling munja cakey, then go ahead and start the dessert first. But I would strongly recommend against it, because if an Italian's in the neighborhood and sees you doing that, it's game over for you. So here we go. You literally, looks like we've got about 4 stacks, and I got a broken crostini, and this can happen. I mean, it's delivery, right, people? I'm not delivering it. It's rolling across the road on a bumpy road, and things can happen. So when it happens, don't fret. Put it back together. We got some chives here for a little chive garnish over the top. You know, it's like, hey, what's that green stuff, chef? It's chives. And, wow, look at this. I think we got out of control. For some reason, we got Parmesan cheese. So I'm just going to go with chef on this one, and we're going to do the Parmesan cheese down on the bruschetta. And I want you to head into that living room where Mom is. And there better be some Negroni left in the glass, because here's to you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day. Buon appetito. So course 1 in the Mother's Day dinner, we're going with the classic Caprese salad with heirloom tomatoes. One critical thing that you might want to do here, it is extremely sacrilegious to serve tomatoes at cold temperature, meaning that they were in the refrigerator. So if you're able to have watched this video, which, let's be honest, I see the click views, and I know most of you watched this video before you actually do it, bring these out about an hour before, at a minimum a half an hour, okay? Keep the cheese in the fridge, that's fine, but the dressing and the tomatoes, bring them out. So the dressing is just extra virgin olive oil with some balsamic in there, and then we have the tomatoes. So what you want to do is it's a composed salad. So tomatoes, you're just going to drop them on down and kind of just do a haphazard kind of color wheel where it all kind of balances in your mind's eye. And there is no right way, there is no wrong way to do this. Now, something I learned a billion years ago, when you have a white cheese, a soft cheese like buffalo or mozzarella or any kind of stuff like that, you do not want to put your dressing over that. It looks nasty. So we are just going to go ahead and put this down now. This is a bit emulsified. It should be a little bit more split, but this is most likely just really indicative of something traveling across the country, across the city, coming to your house. So cheese goes down now, and you see what I mean? The contrast is better. You don't want to have it, the dressing spilled on top, so it stains the cheese. It's not a good look. You have some basil in here, and you just want to have a couple of pieces. There's a lot in here, so don't go crazy, because it becomes really medicinal if you have too much. And some of you might be saying, yeah, but wait a minute, we just had the bruschetta and the canape, now we're doing tomatoes again. Look, that was a rough winter. The snow was brutal, the salt was brutal. What's with all the gravel and the salt? That's like crazy. It's like salt and pepper these days out there. But really, I'm not putting crostinis with this. So you're just going to crush the tomatoes, and then we're really going to get into it. Here, salt, Malden sea salt, okay? Just going to put a little bit down on the plate. There you go. Have you got the kind of kitchen where you got little tables sitting up at the area where you're doing your where you're preparing all this food, and Mom is sitting right in front of you? If so, it's for Mom. First course, little Caprese salad. Enjoy. would not be an Italian dinner if we didn't have a pasta course. So let me introduce you to course 2. You don't need this at room temperature. This is an agnolotti. It's a pretty unusual looking agnolotti as well because it looks kind of like a firecracker. And I'm going to be really transparent how this all came about. We did Italy during the pandemic, and the first time we did it, we had about 200 families, 200 couples, and we needed to come up with a way to make agnolotti super quick. So this is when you roll the pasta sheet out on the table. You can literally pipe your filling down and then roll it up, not like you're going to smoke it, like you're going to eat it, and then you pinch the edges, and you get one of these. So agnolotti stuffed, long, little unusual. There's probably even a classic, I doubt there's a classic name for this in Italian. We're going to call this, this is a Michael Blackie. So in the container, you have some butter with some vegetable oil. Put the vegetable oil into the frying pan and let it come to temperature over a medium-high flame. Medium-high flame should have already been on. So as that starts to come up, we are going to bring back the heat to this wonderful little bit of gorgeous pasta, which is filled with veal and spinach. Oh, you can hear the sizzle and the shizzle. There we go. The pasta's in. And while the pasta's in, don't be concerned about it sticking. The reason it's sticking is you've introduced a cold element into a hot pan. You have oil that's hot, and sometimes it's just going to stick. So what you got to do is don't touch it for a minute. And put a little bit of the butter that's inside. So you got a couple little knobs of butter in there. And basically, you want to move that around. And then you want to see, come here, Mr. Cameraman, check it out. So it didn't take long for that. And remember, I'm not working in a Teflon pan. I'm working in a good old school commercial stainless steel frying pan. Crispy fry. This is going to take less than 2 minutes to come together because we're heating the insides at the same time while we're promoting crispiness. In your container 2, you also have this 4-ounce container of this caper lemon cream reduction. So inclusive, we have a little container with some parsley and Kalamata olive, little salts. And then over here, wacky, smoked eggplant dust. So this is eggplant that we've dried out, but before we dried it out, we actually smoked it with hickory. So it's got a nice little, the flavor profile of that hitting against the salty Kalamata with the caper cream, with the veal agnolotti, with the butter. Oof. And I didn't pack it in the list for you, but if you want, you get a little hit of lemon in there, brings it up. There's something gorgeous about it. Like, if you ever cook like linguine, you're just doing spaghetti and meatballs. After you drain your pasta, throw it into a frying pan with some olive oil, some butter, chop up some onions, chop up some herbs, parsley, chives, whatever. Throw that all in there, a little bit of chili, mix it all around. Your kids will never miss dinner again. They'll always be there for you. We're not even going to go with the meatballs because it's really hard to screw up a meatball. It's like a hamburger, right? Don't overwork it. So look, we are there. This is gorgeous. You've got the butter that's turning noisette now. The color is there. See what a medium-high flame does? Makes you look like a pro star. So, having said that, bring out this. Take your agnolotti, put 1 down, put 2 down. There's a little nub at the end of the ravioli that fell off, so I'm just going to dump my oil out for a second, put the frying pan back on, take the caper butter, and go right into the pan. Can you hear that? That's a sound of applauso, because guess what? It's hot. It's ready to go. Boom, boom. Come right back. That's how quick that is. 1, 2, 1, 2. Come back in. Get it all. Get it all, people. Turn off your stove. Eggplant dust will go with last. First, Kalamata olive with the parsley. Drop that down. This is a very beautiful little sexy dish. This is going to encourage us to go back to the kitchen, find that bottle of Chianti I've sent to you. It's not this one, by the way, because it's a special order just for Mother's Day. And we're about a week and a half away from Mother's Day. But it's a Chianti. You're going to pour that. And this is when you start to drink the wine. And this is when this should no longer be here. So on that note, I'm going to go finish my glass. And we'll see you for course 3. Oh, did you see that? A little splash of love. You enjoyed the pasta. We're going to slide into course 3. 2 containers you need to bring with you to the kitchen. 3A, 3B. These are refrigerated. It's great. Let's walk through it. We're making oatmeal for Italians, risotto. This is a hearty, wonderful dish. We're pretty plentiful with you here, so let's walk through it. We have some olive oil. We have some butter. We have mushrooms with guanciale. So cremini mushrooms, so your common browns. We have some green peas and chicken stock. So this is probably the most cooking that you're going to actually physically do throughout this entire process. You want to have a medium high flame. You want to first take a little bit of... Oh, this is truffle oil. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Don't you love truffle oil? Some chefs get really frothy about it. Like I have buddies of mine, they get really bent about it. I'm sorry, there's a couple little flecks in there. So look, butter goes down. Pasta goes in. Pasta, what am I talking about? The rice, the risotto. So it's a rice, it's a borio. This has been par cooked so that you don't have to break your wrist when you're doing this. And we're going to basically combine this all together. And the whole purpose of what we're trying to achieve here is to cook out the pasta. And in order to do it, we're going to actually take a stock, we're going to add to it, and we're going to slowly move the pasta around. You do not want to let the pasta sit. And you can see that the heat that was in the pan just got arrested quite quickly. So I'm just going to bring the flame up a little bit more to like a little bit over a medium-high flame. And what we want to do is we want to reduce the liquid by the steam coming off, and you can see it coming up very quickly here. And we're going to keep moving this around. Now, if you don't want to use a spoon on metal, that's fine. Use a rubber spatula. Just make sure it's heat resistant. Or if you're old school and you love your wooden spoons, I do. Go for it. So, we have our arborio working very quickly. We're going to flame up just a little bit more. I really don't want to be here all day doing this, so we want to get going with it. Mushrooms are here. Peas are here. You can get these lined up. And if you listen, lots more butter. If you listen, you can hear the rice coming up quickly. This is wonderful. So, you can see that as we move it, the surface of the rice, it's got quite the gluten to it, and it's breaking free from it, and it's making it creamy. But the butter is adding to the creamy. So this is like, it's just wonderful. Whether it's a hot summer's day or it's a cold winter's day, risotto always has a place in my heart. It always does. We're going to add more stock. You might not need all the stock because the ultimate objective here is to make the risotto al dente, meaning soft to the tooth, meaning that you should feel it press against your tooth, but you should have just an ever such slight, not so much a crunch, because if you got a crunch, you're being a mungie cake. You don't want to have the crunch. You want it to actually be a little softer than that, but at the same time, you don't want to have it. Oh, let's see what this is all about. Oh, I think my wife just saw her tax bill. Oh, a little crazy face on the phone there. It's tax day today, everybody. I hope you got your taxes in. Anyways, here we go. We're almost there. And you want to grab another spoon, your tasting spoon, and you want to go in. You want to try this. It's wonderful. I really don't need to put any more stock in there because if I do, it's going to literally turn into porridge. And we don't want to be doing porridge. So, a little bit more down. Wow. Here we go. Working that out. Oh, I think someone's happy, or maybe they're freaking out, but you know what? You've always got to be ready for mom, no matter what happens. And that's the mother of my two beautiful children, Liam and Annabelle. Liam's coming over tomorrow. We're going to have a wonderful dinner. Can't wait. Family time is the best time. So you can see this look now. It's looking less porridgey. It's getting more bound together. It's drying out. You do not want it to look like plaster of Paris. You got me on that one? Mm-hmm. Okay. Here we go. You could put all these elements together into one pot, but honestly, I kind of like to keep things a little bit more restaurant-y. And what do I mean by that? I'm first going to go with the risotto. Amazing. And then we're going to come back into the frying pan and we're going to just put the mushrooms right in. You want to use a fresh frying pan? Feel free, but you don't need to. This is totally fine. We're just basically bringing the heat back up on this, and we're going to add the peas to this as well. Now, are you anti-pea? You better not be, because you're really going to mess up my recipe if you do that. So I would stay with the peas in there. Get that cleaned up. Remember over here, you got your little spoon water where you have your clean spoon so you can change out. So you can see the nice chunks of guanciale with the mushrooms in there. At this point of the game, you want to take a little bit of this salt, Maldon salt with truffle oil, a little touch. You want to put a little bit down. Just kind of wake up truffle, mushrooms, all in the same vein of food memory. Wonderful, earthy flavors. There we go. That is almost there. While all that's going down, if you have this much chicken stock, that's fine. Close it up, put it in the fridge until it's gone past due. Don't know what you're going to do with it, but you definitely probably don't need as much. The mushrooms are up. We're going to pop them right now and in the center with the lardon, or the guanciale, I should say. Guanciale is literally Italian for the cheek of the pig. A very well-worked muscle that is super tender and it's super tender when it gets cooked out, but more importantly, it is tasty as the dickens because it's such a well-worked muscle. And then you're going to finish off with this drizzle of truffle oil over the top. Over the top. Are you looking like you own the world? You're darn right you do. Make sure your plate's cleaned. Even the best make a little bit of mucka now and then. That's okay. Come and get into this bowl. Look at that. A little truffle risotto with mushrooms, green peas. Quattro, wave 4. Veal milanese. Veal milanese. We have a little caper butter sauce. We have some beet stained shallots, butter, little dressing, which is going to go with our arugula salad with oven-dried cherry tomatoes. And we got a little butter combined with some vegetable oil. And inside, look at this. We got this big bad boy here, veal milanese, which right now you should have the following. 4A, 4B, I just went through very quickly. Jumping over to a frying pan, medium-high heat. This super ass easy this. You're going to first put your finger on the little butter bob, and you're going to just pour the vegetable oil in. You're going to let that come up to full flame. See my flame? That's like a 7 on the electric. That's definitely a 6.5 on gas. Okay. We have our veal. I'm popping it there. Get yourself a stainless steel bowl. Take the arugula lettuce, drop it out, and guess what's inside? The oven-dried, well, not the oven-dried, yeah, they're oven-dried cherry tomatoes. What am I saying? So we're just going to let those sit in the bottom of there. Give this a little shake on the dressing. You're going to put half the dressing in there. hold it back. Make sure you shake that up because it's not suspension, it's separation going on in there. So you just want to kind of bring it back together a little bit. You can see that the oil, I don't know if the cameraman can catch that up, but you can kind of see the oil kind of squiggling along there. You know, when you see that, you got yourself a hot pan. Watch. Oh. And never like do what I just did there, meaning go down in one swoop and always drop it away from you. There's this natural tendency with zero experience, meaning slightly comatose, that you drop it towards you. I'm guilty as charged. 35 plus years ago, I used to do silly things like that. And then I'd come home and my mother would be like, what happened to you? In a coma, not thinking. Drop it away from you. Stainless steel pan. Look at that. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Veal's going. Lettuce. Give it a quick toss. Wonderbar. Drop the cherry tomatoes on top. Leave them there. Get rid of your container. Done. Back over here. Beet stained shallots, going to be a garnish. A little bit of this dressing that's left over, we're going to be using that. There's the caper butter. This caper butter with limoncello this time. So I'm not doing caper butter on everything. I heard you. I heard you thinking about it. But you wait. Limoncello changes it up hugely. So, looking in the frying pan, you want to use a pair of tongs, go right ahead, but you don't need to. Watch this. Finger here. Whoa. Ready? Boom, boom. All right, now that we flipped it over, drop the butter in. Why? We want the butter to melt, but we also want to get that kind of belle noisette flavor going on. And this is when you want to be a total crazy person. Wait, we're 2 minutes out from crazy person. We're going to take the remaining mustard, lemon, olive oil, and we're going to hit it in there at the end when the butter caramelizes. So look, you can, if you were here and you could smell this, you'd be like, oh yeah. Oh, here we go. We're going to flip it over one more time. You see what I did there? I put the grease to one side when I flipped it over. This is looking beautiful. Beautiful. We're letting all that fat get soaked up in there. The dressing is looking gorgeous. It's gotten quite crazy. So the beautiful thing about this dish right now is that we are literally minutes away from cutting that in half and presenting it to you. Those are our garnishes with the salad. You have your plates. Room temperature. Don't heat them. We got lettuce here. Okay? Coming down to the end of it. Might want to give myself a little bit of room. Okay. I say we're there. We are there. That's going to go there. So, pan drippings is going to pop out. We don't even need the sauce pot. Even though Matt was there to make miracles happen, we're just going to drop the sauce right into the frying pan. You see that little flame lick there? That was fun. Nothing like a little drama. Now, if you have a little bit of vino, you want to just go a little vino in there, and just, you know, Espirito Anonte, just go right in there. That looks great. Kill the flame. I put the wine in there just to kind of thin out the sauce a little bit. It was looking a little crazy berry on the old quantity, thickness, so to speak. Got to get all of that out of there into your container. And hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Still nice and hot. Beautiful. Okay. Take your knife. Cut lengthwise. Beautifully cooked. Maybe a little too much. So if you want it a little pinkier, you know what you got to do now, don't you? We're going to go with the sauce down. I'm not helping my cameraman there. Got the frying pan against the wrong direction. There we go.
You gotta do sound effects when you're cooking. You'd be like, oh yeah, so good.
Even if you're alone, it's still good. Happy thoughts. All right. Salad. Drop a little bit down. Drop a little down. Decorate haphazardly with no kind of formation. Your cherry tomatoes. Beet stained shallots. Wow. This looks great. Super happy on this. A little Parmesan. Feels like 2 hours ago we were using the Parmesan on the bruschetta, and then I realized looking at the menu after the fact that I actually wrote it in the menu. Wah. There we go, everybody. Little veal milanese, limoncello sauce, beet stained shallots, arugula, Parmesan cheese. Wow. Where's Mom? Let's go find her and have a wonderful dinner together. Wave 5, or course 5 more importantly, is shrimp and nduja. Nduja is literally, if anybody caught me on CTV, I think I referred to it as the foie gras for Italians. It is a sausage. It is high in fat. It's got a wonderful spice level to it. Pork-based, obviously. So we've already chopped up the nduja in here. We have it with some onions, some olive oil, some minced tomato, and butter. We have the shrimp. And here we have a base sauce on the side that we're going to add to it, along with some chives and parsley. So very simple, straightforward. Pan again, medium high. Oil in the pan. You don't need to do, because guess what? We've put it all in here. We basically have this little melange ready to go for you, and it's already got the oil in it. We don't want to put the shrimp in yet. So let us do this together. Frying pan is, I say we need a little bit more. Let's see what happens when we get just a little, ooh, we don't want the shrimp in there. That shrimp is excited to get cooked. No question. I'm going to go in. Oh yeah, we're good. Here we go. Here we go, peeps. There goes the smoke detector. Oh yeah, she's going to fire off. There's no question. I doubt it. Takes a lot for the alarms to go off in this damn building. All right. Here we go. You're going to want to move that around pretty quick. You can smell that paprika, that chili, that heat. Drop your shrimps in. The trick with the shrimps, make sure they're not sitting on top of each other. Make sure they're flying straight, and bring your heat down to like a medium low. Don't touch it. We're treating it like scallops. Oh, messed around here. There you go. It's a very simple, straightforward sauce here. You can see the shrimps are starting to come together, but more importantly, if you get in there, Mr. Cameraman, you can see that the nduja is breaking down, and this is what I mean by foie gras. If you've ever cooked it, it dissolves if you don't treat it with respect, meaning get it in, get it seared, get it out. Got a paper towel, drain us. We don't want to drain it here. That fat's tasty. So shrimps are imming. I'm going to come back up with my flame. Now that we got smoke under control, and I don't need to get the ceiling painted in the main lobby next week, we're solid. Cooking is coming along beautifully. And take a little bit of this sauce base, which we're going to add in here. We have some butter in here, a little labneh sour cream, almost like a creme fraiche, a double cream. Just going to add that to it, and we're going to combine it together. Continue to let that cook out and take the rest of this. That's about 3.5 ounces going in there with all the veggies and stuff. And we're going to let that cook out for Hold on. Hey, look, I'm back. And you know what I would like you to do? I'd like you to get something to cover. It could be an exact same frying pan, but if you don't have an exact same frying pan, you could just put a little baking tray on there. We kind of want to dome that and let it cook out a little bit. While that's going down, have 2 bowls warmed, ready to go. Get yourself a clean spoon. Kind of hear it talking to me. It's like, hey, I'm a shrimp. I'm in here. Wow. Look at that. Guess what? Done. Was that quick or what? You can see the shrimp are gorgeously cooked. You don't want to overcook shrimp. Nothing more nasty than that. We're going to drop these down. Kind of want to pile everything up in the center. And as you bring out the elements, the shrimp, the nduja, the cheese, the garnish of tomato with the onion, you want to just grab the garnish. There's 6 shrimps per person. Now, some of you might be like, it would be really good if I had some bread with this, chef. I didn't include the bread, but if you got some kicking around, go for it. If you have a little baguette kicking around, you could just take some pieces and throw them right down in that dirty pan and scoop up all that loviness and tuck them to the side. A little fennel frond with some chive and parsley. Just kind of hit that down onto the plate. Look at this. Simplicity in life. Was cooking like a king for the queen in your life. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Shrimp nduja. The last course of an incredible experience, Italy. We're going into the classic, the tiramisu. There's a couple of twists into this. If you did Easter, you would have seen this. We loved it so much, we decided to replicate it for this menu. This is tiramisu. You obviously got the ladyfinger in there. You got the kicker in this, though, obviously being an espresso based, is the fact that we're doing the cacao, and you can see the cacao in there. We're spinning up with a little bit of a British rendition, doing a limoncello lemon curd. We have some berries. We have some crushed meringue. And then over here, you would have received this from the driver separately. This you would have put into your freezer right away. This is your miso, dark miso chocolate ice cream. Delicious. Not very Italian. Sometimes it doesn't have to be 100% classic, okay? Plates down. You need 2 plates. You're plating. You're going to grab a fork. There's a little bit of gelatin here to make sure it survives the trip. I got to say, this looks way better than the trip to CTV the other day. It was super early in the morning, and by the time we got there, things were looking a little wobbly when it came to it all. Lemon curd, 1 end, 2 end. Don't worry, it's going to slacken and come out and pool nicely. Just let Mother Nature, Mother, and let time do its thing. A little crushed meringue. One of those classic Blackie dessert garnishes. Some blueberries. Drop your blueberries into the lemon curd so they're not rolling around all over the plate. Amazing. Okay. And then all you want to do, get all your containers out of here. There we go. All right. And now all we're going to do is just take our spoon, a little bit of water. We do a little warm water if you wish. Just going to come in. I'm going to grab that. We're going to drop it right on top. We're not going to try to make canals here. We're not going to get all Frenchy. We're going to keep it all nice and freshy. And, right, remember? A little chef portion for you. You know, it's like salty caramel, the miso. So good. And what's even better is Mom's in the zone, and so are you. And on behalf of the entire team here at Next, I want to thank you for your support And if you've been doing these over the years, a big warm thank you for your support in making these dinners such a success. Happy Mother's Day and happy weekend. And until next time.